In a developing story, an investigation is active in Iowa Falls after law enforcement found 3 dead and 1 hurt inside a home early Sunday morning. Local 5's Emma Stroner has the latest information on what we know now.
We got multiple people here with gunshot wounds.
Authorities responded to this house in Iowa Falls Sunday morning after a fatal shooting. The Hardin County Sheriff's Office says someone called 911 just before 4 a.m., saying multiple people at the house weren't responding.
There were multiple people. It sounds like unresponsive in the residence.
When authorities got there, they found 3 people dead and 1 injured inside the home, all by gunshots. The person who was alive but hurt was taken to a local hospital with a wound that was not life-threatening. The neighborhood, which lies right across Iowa Falls Alden High School, is described by neighbors as quiet. They say they've seen more cars drive by today than ever before. One neighbor tells me the family who lives at the house is nice and hasn't caused any disruptions in the neighborhood. That neighbor and others also tell Local 5 they might know who was found dead in the house, but authorities have not released any names at this time. What we're still working to confirm right now are the identities of those dead and injured in the home. And other than the gunshots, we don't know the circumstances around what happened. Investigation is active, so as soon as we hear more, we will update you on air and online. In Iowa Falls, Emma Stroner, Local 5 News.
There are still a lot of unknowns about the bipartisan resolution. What happens now? The shutdown has been going on for 41 days, the longest in U.S. history. Local 5's Alex Fulton checked back in with experts on the path forward from here. Alex.
Well, Stephanie, DMARC saw nearly double the amount of people come in last week compared to a normal week. The food bank has been doing its best to meet the need, but the hope is November SNAP benefits will go out to provide reprieve.
I feel like I have a little bit of whiplash.
Whiplash not coming to a conclusion is how DMARC CEO Kathy Underhill describes the past week. It's still unclear when and how much of SNAP benefits will go out.
It's our understanding that the USDA sent a memo out today telling states that they were going to try and have the stay extended with the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court on Friday allowed President Trump to withhold benefits, but a lower court judge on Monday ordered him to send them in full.
The big thing that we want, which is I think what everyone wants, is just certainty. We want to know for certain whether partial benefits are going out, whether full benefits are going out, and the timing of that.
This comes as the U.S. Senate on Sunday reached a bipartisan deal to end the shutdown. As part of the deal, Congress will hold a vote at a later date to extend Affordable Care Act tax credits set to expire on January 1st. These tax credits were enhanced during the pandemic, lowering health insurance costs even further for those who qualify.
If you're not currently on a group plan, in the individual market, we're seeing lots of just rate increases year over year. We hear 15, 20, 25%. And what's been communicated is that's the average.
Sureca COO Eric Wissig says with no tax credits plus premiums going up across the board, some will likely pay between $400 to $500 more a month.
As of now, all of the insurance companies have decided what plans they're going to offer, what the pricing and the rates are going to be, anticipating that the tax credits do not continue.
Open enrollment is happening now. Experts suggest looking at all options for health insurance and selecting a plan assuming the Affordable Care Act tax credits won't go out. Stephanie?
Well, new tonight, some controversy is stirring over at Perry High School after a play called She Kills Monsters was postponed last minute. Local 5's Emma Stroner joins us with the concerns parents and community members have from both sides.
Well, Stephanie, there was a board meeting tonight and public comments were just over an hour long because there were many voicing their concerns. Some saying it was too short notice and silences student expression, and others supporting postponing the play, saying the contents are too inappropriate. We are choosing not to show photos of the play rehearsal as some of the students pictured are under 18. As a mother and someone who loves theater, Rebecca Haney says she supports the decision because it protects the kids.
There's no shortage of plays and creative outlet for expression for any and all types of belief, personality, ideas, and identity. My issue with this play is that it is the central topic of the play. They feature characters aggressively making out. That is the direct stage direction that's in the play.
The play does include a lesbian character. Community member and drag artist Jordi Lopez Mayorga says it's important that students get to express themselves.
I feel like the play itself was already revised from the start, from the assistant director, from Jen Hillman, and all the worries were not meant to be worries. All of the content that was going to go on the play was appropriate.
The play is set to go on this November 14th and 15th at 7 p.m. We're still working to confirm the specific reasons why the play was set for a later time. We reached out to Superintendent Clark Wicks, who declined to comment tonight.
You know, I said it last time in the interview, if this doesn't work and I hit the ground, I'm going to bounce right back up. So that's the way I feel. We're in God's hands, Stephanie, so whatever is in store, yeah, life is good.
All right, well, the last time we talked to Don Poole, he really didn't know what the future held. That's because at age 97, the Korean War veteran was getting ready to fly to France on the anniversary of D-Day to parachute onto the beaches of Normandy. His wishes were simple. He wanted to survive the landing. Well, he did survive, and better yet, he walked away with a new perspective on life and a story he's sharing with us on this Veterans Day.
Happy birthday to you.
It's a very special day inside Don Poole's West Des Moines home. Friends and family gathered to celebrate his 98th birthday, and he relived his adventure, jumping from a plane at 6,000 feet over the site that changed the trajectory of World War II.
That was a thrill. I could have gone right back up and done it again. It's such a great feeling once the chute opens. When you jump out of the plane, the first 100 yards, I suppose, it's stinging your face. I don't know if it was rain up in the cloud there or what. But anyhow, when the chute opened, I could see England. I could see across the English Channel and all the beaches where all the troops landed.
The beaches hold a personal tie for Don. His own brother landed there before serving in the Battle of the Bulge. This trip, coordinated by nonprofit Warriors Rising, an opportunity for veterans to pay tribute to those who went before them, each walking away with priceless memories and something more sacred.
These two rings that I have, all the fellows that was on the trip got rings like this, and there's sand from the beaches at Normandy there. And this one was made just for me because it had some sand out of the foxhole and some shrapnel off of a tank. So it's more personal because of my brother being there.
Wearing the uniform from his jump, with sand still on the knees that he'll never wash off, Don reflected on the hospitality he received on every leg of his trip. Other vets in uniform lining up to cheer him on as he walked the plane. People in France stopping him, asking to take a picture.
I was just impressed how everybody was still so thankful, grateful to the Americans. Here, it's not a big thing, D-Day, you know. It's mentioned, but not over there. It's like it was a week ago. It was such a big thing.
The trip was life-changing, a bond forming among the group, sharing the thrill of the jump and the weight of the history that brought them together. As he turns the page on another year, Don has a new wish, a birthday wish.
We're here for a purpose. You know, you're here for this purpose. And so we just need to be faithful on the years that God gives us to be, so He still got something down the line. And I'm hoping it's get to be 100. I'd like to get a jump again on the year I'm 100.
Hopefully, another soft landing. And Don is planning to go back to Normandy next year with Warriors Rising on D-Day to parachute once again, so he is well on his way to achieving that goal of a jump at 100. Once the government reopens, it's unclear when things will go back to normal at airports. Local 5's Alex Fulton is at Des Moines International with what air traffic controllers are experiencing and what the future could hold.
Air traffic controllers have already missed 2 paychecks. They're doing their best, given the circumstances, to provide a good experience for everyone.
The simplest way to put it, they're stressed.
They're frustrated.
Aaron Merrick says it's a tough task for air traffic controllers to give it their all amid the government shutdown.
While we're able to kind of compartmentalize that for the most part, it does add that added, level of risk, to the margin of safety that we expect.
He's the vice president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association Central Region, which includes Des Moines International Airport.
Our folks will continue showing up to work, doing the jobs that they love, that they swore an oath to do, and we'll continue moving the folks safely through the system.
Travelers like Deirdre Patton are feeling the effects of the strain on the system. Her flight from Houston to Des Moines was delayed 2 hours.
I thought, I'm here for business, and so that was a little concerning because I have deadlines and things that I have to do for my clients.
Merrick says Des Moines is already short-staffed as is. The airport has 19 air traffic controllers and 11 in training, below the target of 38.
While they're continuing to try to train individuals to be able to boost up their staffing number, they're already working, many times 6-day work weeks, sometimes 10 hours a day.
For now, Merrick doesn't have an answer on when things will settle and if that'll happen before the busy holiday season.
I think that's one of the challenges that we have right now is we recognize that it's not like just simply flipping a switch and turning things back on.
Anyone flying out either now or during the holidays should keep an eye on flight updates just in case there are any changes. In Des Moines, Alex Fulton, Local 5 News.
Homeowners across Iowa are paying more for insurance, and researchers say severe weather is part of that reason. Local 5's J.D. Snover is in studio with a look at what's driving the increase and what experts say could help.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Stephanie. An annual report looking at the effects of climate change across Iowa has been released by scientists from across the state. It links the phenomenon's effects, like an increase in severe weather events, to rising home insurance premiums.
Nearly 180 researchers from 26 Iowa colleges and universities have signed the Iowa Climate Statement, warning that severe weather is driving up costs for residents.
Given that homeowners insurance is required to obtain a mortgage, as insurance costs become prohibitive or as companies choose not to insure in areas of high risk, the entire housing market can experience ripple effects.
NOAA data shows Iowa had $86 billion disasters between 1980 and 2024. In the last 5 years, the frequency has jumped to more than 5 per year. As disasters increase, so do costs to insurance companies.
Rapidly rising insurance premiums in Iowa are driven by increased costs of labor, building materials, and reinsurance.
Those costs are often passed on to homeowners. A report from Insurify shows Iowa homeowners saw a 14% increase in premiums in 2024. The same year, the state recorded 125 tornadoes, and that's just at the most severe end. Scientists say an increase in hail damage is a common factor as well.
A lot of insurers have reduced their coverage of roofing so that a lot more of the money is out of pocket for the consumer.
There's no single solution, but those behind the report say awareness and prevention can help.
If we can reduce those damages by building for the current world, we can certainly save a lot of money.
So the Insurify report also mentions premiums are projected to rise by 19% by the end of 2025. The report also mentions Iowa is not alone, and other states prone to significant natural disasters are also seeing similar trends. Stephanie?
Today is Veterans Day, a time to honor the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice and risked everything for our country. With about 177,000 Iowa veterans making up more than 5% of the population, what does this day mean to some of them? Local 5's Dana Searles has the story.
For veterans, November 11th is not just another date on the calendar. It's a day that honors sacrifice and service.
It means something great. I think of all veterans as my brothers and sisters. It's something that not everybody does.
It's an honor that stretches far beyond the uniform.
You walk down the street and people reach out and know who you are and what you do, and reach out and shake your hand and say thank you for your service. It really rips at your heart, and it tears you up from time to time.
Beginning more than a century ago in 1918, when the guns of World War I fell silent, marking the end of the Great War and becoming known as Armistice Day.
It just makes me proud of myself because I enlisted, like I said, and just the one thing. It's kind of the one thing that can't be taken away. I mean, you lose and get stuff through your life, but being a veteran is, you know, it's there. It's going nowhere.
In 1954, after World War II and the Korean War, the name was changed to Veterans Day, a day to honor all American veterans from every branch and every generation, a day to recognize the men and women who've built the foundation of freedom.
It's a time to give recognition and praise to those who served the country and got us where we are today.
And remember those who never made it home.
It reminds you of a lot of people and a lot of people that aren't here anymore. I've had some really good friends that have passed away, and I myself believe that's what Veterans Day is for. It's for the guys that have been here or the guys that were in wars. And they were good people.
Today, there are more than 18 million veterans in the U.S., men and women who served in all conflicts, ranging from Vietnam to Iraq and Afghanistan. On Veterans Day, we remember. In the days ahead, we carry forward their legacy of courage, unity, and duty.
I serve my country. I love this country. I love the flag. And I'll do anything for it. That's what it means to be a veteran.
In Marshalltown, Dana Searles, Local 5 News.
An Indigenous woman is back home tonight after the Polk County Sheriff's Office says a clerical mistake led to her being flagged as a possible undocumented immigrant. Local 5's JD Snover joins us now from the Sheriff's Office with what happened and why tribal communities say this is part of a bigger concern.
It's not uncommon for folks to be brought into the Polk County Jail on regular everyday charges and then be picked up by DHS for their immigration status. However, this specific incident, the Polk County Sheriff's Office says, is isolated and was caused by human error. But I spoke with those close to tribal communities who say this is a common fear right now among their people.
Sakowis Nobis with the advocacy group Great Plains Action Society says immigration enforcement has long impacted Native communities.
Immigration laws have been key in eroding Indigenous peoples, like our customs, traditions, our identities, and these borders have displaced us. They've restricted us from our traditional movements.
Today, most Indigenous people live integrated into non-Native communities. Only about 23% reside on designated land nationwide. In Iowa, there's just one such area, Meskwaki Settlement. That integration often leads to mistaken identity, according to Indigenous journalist Amelia Schaefer.
I think a lot of Iowans don't realize that the Meskwaki Nation is there and are going to assume that this person has a darker skin tone and Indigenous features, they must be Mexican.
The perception is a result of history. Many Native people in the Southwest have Hispanic surnames, and most Latino people have Indigenous ancestry, making misidentification even more likely.
Those regions were colonized by Spain, so those Native people are very likely to have Hispanic last names, and then compounded with, most Latino people have Indigenous ancestry, so they're often, Native people are mistaken as being Latino.
The Polk County Sheriff's Office says the woman was released on schedule, and the immigration tag did not delay her case. In Des Moines, I'm JD Snover, Local 5 News.
Well, all week long on Local 5, we're sharing stories honoring veterans who've served our nation. Tonight, we have the story of a rare F-4 Phantom fighter jet that has found a new home. But what's even more remarkable is the story behind how it got to Iowa and the unique connection it has to two veterans who call Marshalltown home. Here's Local 5's Dana Searles.
Right on 6th Street, in the heart of a popular road, sits an iconic symbol of America's air power during the Cold War. And it's here because of an Iowa Army National Guard veteran.
Because having 12 veterans in my family.
That's Jeff Hayden.
If I could honor all the men and women veterans from Iowa with something that would be really exciting for Marshalltown.
He served our country alongside 12 veterans in his family.
So my brother Chris Hayden and I applied and we were assigned an F-4 Phantom jet.
This is the McDonnell Phantom II, a powerful and steadily growing force for the defense of the free world.
McDonnell Douglas made nearly 5,200 of them to carry aviators into combat in places like Vietnam.
And so the plane simply is here to honor all the men and women veterans from Iowa.
And one of the first to ever fly the Phantom plane, Joe Latham, a Marshall County resident. Latham was one of the first classes to get an F-4 Phantom assignment. Just one of 4 first lieutenant front seat pilots in July of 1966.
I had like 220 hours of combat time, 118 missions, came back to the States, and then for the next 3.5 years I was at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in North Carolina. And because of they were just converting to the new F-4D models, and I was the only person on the base to start with that had any combat experience. Because this drops down to 2 steps.
But the connection to this plane in Marshall County runs much deeper than just the name. It's the numbers etched into the jet itself.
He said, Jeff, I flew the exact airplane that you and your brother Chris are bringing to honor the Iowa veterans. And of 5,200 plus F-4 Phantoms built, and they were flown by the Air Force, the Navy, and the Marine Corps, what are the chances of getting assigned a plane that a local person that I know flew in combat in the Vietnam War?
The exact same plane, down to the serial number, flown by Joe Latham in combat. And it's all because of a logbook.
I don't know any of my pilot friends that ever kept their own logbook.
A book that began with a test flight one Saturday morning, leading to a habit few others maintained.
I've filled up 2 Navy logbooks at this point, and I also wrote the serial number down. And I don't know anybody that ever kept a logbook that would have the serial numbers, but that's it's been rather exciting at times because there's a lot of coincidences in my logbook.
And for both veterans, the plane is now a reminder of service, sacrifice, and a friendship.
I think Joe says the same thing. When he drives by it, I think, do you still salute the flag when you go by? I think I missed maybe one time, and I turned around and I drove back and saluted the flag at the F-4 jet. And I make my grandkids do it. I say salute or walk.
So from the skies of Vietnam to the streets of Marshalltown, this F-4 Phantom now carries a new mission, honoring the past and inspiring the future.
Brings back a lot of memories. For over 30 years, whenever I go downtown or before I retired, go to work downtown, I drive past it every day. Still do drive past it almost every day. Still looks the same.
In Marshalltown, Dana Searles, Local 5 News.
Now, back here at home, the deal is providing some relief, but farmers are looking beyond harvest to view policies that shape their future. Local 5's JD Snover is in studio with what Congress snuck into this week's deal and why some say bigger changes are overdue.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. This week's deal essentially extended the 2018 Farm Bill for another year. It's a short-term solution, and producers and others who study this policy say the real work still lies ahead. Harvest season is winding down across Iowa. Farmers have reaped most of their corn and soybeans with almost no USDA safety net, and some say they're okay with that as long as they can sell what they grow.
Farmers inherently do not want to have the dependency on a government program. They would rather have free trade or have trade agreements made and let the free market system take place.
Overlapping trade wars slashed exports right as the 2018 Farm Bill extension expired in September, leaving future financing in limbo for farmers.
We continue to see these not just one-year extensions, but delayed one-year extensions that seem to come in only after a lot of maybe unnecessary frustration and concern.
This week, Congress tucked another one-year patch into the spending bill that reopened the government. It restores commodity loans, seed and chemical financing, and land rental support. Programs left in limbo following the passage of the Republican-led spending bill in July.
All of those programs that were left hanging and remaining from that July one big bill essentially just got that 1 year extension.
With the government reopened, Iowa ag leaders like Steve Kuiper hope Washington pivots to bigger fixes like a fresh farm bill and new markets for their products.
With getting the government back open, getting this spending taken care of, hopefully the folks in Washington, D.C. can focus on other things like the year-round E15.
So for now, the extension does keep those key programs in place, but many in agriculture say it's time for Congress to move beyond stopgaps and focus on longer-term solutions. Alex.
Some hemp products will be banned within the next year under the funding bill that opened the government last night. As Local 5's Emma Stroner reports, that means Iowa businesses that sell items with THC or CBD could experience some major setbacks.
The same spending bill that was signed into law Wednesday reopening the government might close the doors of local businesses selling hemp products. That's because it includes a restriction on hemp-derived items, prohibiting the sale of products that contain over 0.4 milligrams of THC. At CBD American Shaman in West Des Moines and Altoona, that's a majority of what they sell.
It'll be about 90, 95, somewhere in there % of our products are impacted by this bill.
If the law doesn't change within 364 days,
it is heartbreaking.
They may be faced with a tough decision.
We'll definitely try everything we can to find products that are not hemp-derived that will still help people. It's just really hard right now to see how that would be possible.
CBD American Shaman is among the many businesses whose operations might change significantly.
We will likely either need to very much pivot to something completely different or just shut down altogether.
Megan Prawley and her husband Eric Harlow have been working on their business Yonderbound for 2 years now and finally launched in June. They sell drink powders with 3 milligrams of hemp-derived THC and CBD.
It sucks putting all that time, work, and money into building a business, and then less than 6 months into it, there's legislation passed that could put you out of business.
Still, some hope remains. Both Prawley and Powell tell me all they can do now is push for revisions.
Changing in the language would help us feel more confident in moving forward.
I'm really hopeful that our legislators will do what is right and regulate these products and figure out how to change this bill, change this law over the next year.
Now Emma's here with me now, and Emma, how big is the hemp retail industry?
Well, Alex, Jennifer Zwagerman, an agricultural law professor at Drake University, tells Local 5 this industry is growing right now, and it's over $28 billion. The U.S. Hemp Roundtable says 95% of these retail products would become illegal.
All right, Emma, thanks so much for that report. The Iowa Veterans Home is a place offering services to Iowa's veterans to enhance their quality of life. And for one Iowan, it's a place that is giving him a purpose. Local 5's Dana Searles has the story of one Iowa veteran on a mission to walk again.
On a cool fall day, Iowa veterans are taking in an activity-filled day, perfecting their ceramics.
You want to flip that over?
And playing games, all with a unique story.
We hear a lot of stories in here.
Home to nearly 400 veterans, the Iowa Veterans Home offers a space for veterans across the state to call home. And for one veteran,
I believe in life, everything happens for a reason.
it's a place offering hope and healing.
I love it here. There's a lot of nice people here, and they really treat you with respect.
Michael Kraus is a proud veteran whose service began with a simple goal.
I wanted to make my dad proud of something I did, and that's what I did. I enlisted, and it was not easy.
Kraus joined the Army at 21 and served as part of a supply unit, driving fuel trucks through dangerous combat zones in Iraq. It was there, during a mission, his life changed forever.
And I see on your hat you were a combat veteran.
Yes, I got shot in the back in Iraq. As far as getting shot, that's all I remember was getting shot and me shooting him. Somebody shot me in the back. And it was scary.
After being wounded in combat, Kraus lost all his ability to walk, something that sticks with him to this day.
It's like that PTSD will never go away. And to tell you the truth, I don't want it to. I don't want to forget.
Why don't you want to forget?
Because I'm proud. I did something that not everybody can say they did. Well, I went to college and I had to keep that to everybody. Nope, I went to combat in Iraq and got shot. Now everybody can say that.
Years later, Kraus recovered and was walking again until one morning.
I'm really not 100% sure why I stopped. Seems silly, but it's true. I just woke up one day and just figured I couldn't walk anymore.
But it's the Iowa Veterans Home where he says he found purpose again, spending his time working at the Veterans Home and making strides towards walking again.
You know, and like I said, everything happens for a reason. So I believe I was meant to be here for, not just because I can't walk, but for there's something else. There's something else in store for me. I just haven't found it yet. But I will.
For Kraus, Veterans Day isn't just a date on the calendar. It's a reminder of pride, sacrifice, and brotherhood. And his message to those who've never served is simple.
If you're out in public and you see a veteran, just shake their hand. That's all you gotta do. And trust me, it means a lot.
In Marshalltown, Dana Searles, Local 5 News.
Kraus says he is determined to walk again and eventually move out of the Veterans Home.